Welcome back. We're on day 22 of reading the entire Bible. We're on Exodus chapter 16, 17, and 18 right now. All right, let's get to it. Exodus chapter 16. And they journeyed for Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after they departed from the land of Egypt. Then the whole congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, "Oh, that we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat, and when we ate bread to the full. For you have brought us out into the wilderness to kill us, this whole assembly, with hunger." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go and gather a certain quota every day, that I may test them whether they will walk in my law or not. And it shall be on the sixth day that they shall prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily." Then Moses and Aaron said to all the children of Israel, "At evening you shall know that the Lord has brought you out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning you shall see the glory of God, for he hears your complaints against the Lord. But what are we that you complain against us?" Also Moses said, "This shall be seen when the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening, and the morning bread to the full. For the Lord hears your complaints, which you make against him. And what are we? Your complaints are not against us, but against the Lord." Then Moses spoke to Aaron, "Say to all the congregation of the children of Israel, 'Come near before the Lord, for he has heard your complaints.'" Now it came to pass, as Aaron spoke to the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "I have heard the complaints of the children of Israel. Speak to them, saying, At twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread, and you shall know that I am the Lord your God." So it was that quails up at the evening and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew laid all around the camp. And when the layer of the dew lifted, there on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance as fine as frost on the ground. So when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat. This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather it according to each one's need, for omer of each person, according to the number of persons. Let every man take for those who are in his tent." Then the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more and some less. So when they measured it by the omars, he who gathered much had nothing left over, and he who gathered little had no lack, for every man had gathered according to his own need. And the Lord said to Moses, "Let no one leave any of it till morning." Notwithstanding, they did not heed Moses, but some of them left part of it until morning, and it bred worms and it stank. And Moses was angry with them. So they gathered it every morning, every man according to his need. And when the sun came hot, it melted. And so it was on the sixth day that they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one, and all the rulers of the congregation, and came and told Moses. Then he said to him, "This is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is Sabbath rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake today, and boil what you will boil, and lay up for yourselves all that remains to be kept until morning." So they laid it up till morning, as Moses commanded, and it did not stink, nor were there any worms in it. Then Moses said, "Eat that day, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you shall gather it, but on the seventh day, the Sabbath, there will be none. Now it happened that some of the people went out on the seventh day to gather, but they found none. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long do you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for the Lord has given you the Sabbath, therefore he gives you on the sixth day two bread for 2 days. Let every man remain in his place, and let no one go out of his place on the seventh day." So the people rested on the seventh day. And the house of Israel called its name Manna, and it was like a coriander seed, and the taste of it was like waters made with honey. Then Moses said, "This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Fill an omer with it and be kept for your generations. For they may see the bread in which I fed you in the wilderness when I brought you out of the land of Egypt." And Moses said to Aaron, "Take a pot, put an omer of manna in it, and lay it before the Lord to be kept for your generations." As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel ate manna 40 years until they came to an inhabited land. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. Now, an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. Exodus chapter 17. Then all the congregation of the children of Israel set out on their journey from the wilderness of Sin according to the commandment of the Lord and camped in Rebianim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the Lord contended with Moses and said, "Give us water that we may drink." So Moses said to them, "Why do you contend with me? Why do you tempt the Lord?" And the people thirsted there for water, and the people complained against Moses and said, "Why is it you have brought us up from Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst?" So Moses cried out to the Lord, saying, "What shall I do with this people? They're almost ready to stone me." And the Lord said to Moses, "Go on and before the people, and take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand a rod which you struck with the river, and go. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock of Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and the water will come out of it, and the people may drink." And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of the Israel. So he called the name of the place Massa and Meribah, because the contention of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, "Is the Lord among us or not?" Now Amalek came and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said to Joshua, "Choose us some men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand." So Joshua did as Moses said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and went up to the top of the hill. And so it was when Moses held up his hand, and Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands became very heavy, so they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. And Aaron and hers supported his hands, one on each side, and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. So Joshua defeated Amalek. So Joshua defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this for a memorial in the book and recount it in the hearing of Joshua, that I will not utterly blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven." And Moses built an altar and called the name, "The Lord is my banner." For he said, "Because the Lord has sworn, the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation." Genesis chapter 18. And Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God has done for Moses and for Israel and his people, that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he sent her back, with her 2 sons, of whom the name of one was Gershom. And he said, "I have been a stranger in a foreign land." And the name of the other was Eleazar, for he said, "The Lord of my father was my help and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh." And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife to Moses in the wilderness, where he was encamped in the mountain of God. Now he said to Moses, "I, your father-in-law Jethro, am coming to you with your wife and her 2 sons with her." So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, bowed down and kissed him. And they asked each other about their well-being, and they went into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all the Lord has done for Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, all the hardship that's come upon them on the way, and how the Lord has delivered them. Then Jethro rejoiced for all the good which the Lord had done for Israel, and he had delivered them out of the hands of the Egyptians. And Jethro rejoiced for said, Blessed be the Lord who has delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of Pharaoh, and who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all the gods, for in the very thing in which they behaved proudly, he was above them. And then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and other sacrifices to the offer of God, and Aaron came with the elders of the Israel to eat bread with Moses, father-in-law, before God. And so it was on the next day that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood before Moses from morning until evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw that all he did for the people, he said, What is this that you are doing for the people? Why do you do it alone? Sit, and all the people stand before you from morning until evening. And Moses said to his father-in-law, Because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have difficulties, they come to me, and I judge between one and another, and I make known the statutes of God and his laws. So Moses' father-in-law said to him, The thing that you do is not good. Both you and these people who are with you will surely wear yourselves out. For this thing is too much for you. You are not able to perform it by yourself. Listen now to my voice. I will give you counsel, and God will be with you. Stand before God and before people, so that you may bring the difficulties to God. And you shall teach them the statutes and the laws, and show them in the way that they must walk and work they must do. Moreover, you shall select from all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such of them over to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens, and let them judge the people at all times. Then it will be that every great matter they shall bring to you, but every small matter they themselves shall judge. For it shall be easier for you, for they will bear the burden with you. If you do this thing and God so commands you, then you will be able to endure, and all these people will also go to their place in peace. So Moses heeded the advice of his father-in-law and did all he said. And Moses chose able men out of the Israel to make them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. So they judged the people at all times. The hard cases they brought to Moses, and they judged every small case themselves. Then Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way to his own land. And that is the end of chapter 18. Next day will be chapter 19, 20, and 21 of Exodus.